I'm Don King for your Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, presenting this edition of the Tennessee Wildlife Network. This time, we bring you a story from the Cherokee Heritage and Sandhill Crane Viewing Days from Birchwood, Tennessee. The keynote speaker this year is Bill Lishman. He was the man that inspired the movie Fly Away Home. The movie documented his work with Canada geese, training them to fly behind his ultralight aircraft. Later, biologists tapped his experience for work with Sandhill cranes and eventually the ongoing Whooping Crane project.
That's amazing.
I'd like to welcome you to this year's, the 15th annual Cherokee Heritage and Sandhill Crane Days.
One of the stopover points for the cranes here in Tennessee is the Hiwassee Wildlife Refuge near Dayton. These thousands of acres of remote land and water offer a safe haven for the birds, away from humans. That's where TWRA is glad to lend a helping hand.
So many years ago, if I saw one flock of sandhill cranes go across the sky, that's all I saw them the whole year. And I never imagined that not only that we would have these numbers congregate together, but then the people come out to see them like they do. It's really grown beyond my imagination or expectations.
I always loved being here at Hiwassee. It's one of the highlights. In, I guess it was 1985, there was a film being made on a local lake near me where a naturalist by the name of Bill Cherokee had trained a flock of geese. He'd raised them from the egg and trained them to fly with a boat. And I thought, well, if he can do that with a boat, maybe I can do it with my little airplane. The first year I tried it, I thought, well, I'll get them flying with my motorcycle, and then I can switch them over to the aircraft. So raised them and rode around with my motorcycle, and they followed me before they fledged, and when they fledged, they started flying with me, and they got to fly with me really well with the motorcycle. One of them would cruise right off my helmet, just about 4 inches above it, because he got lift off the lift of my helmet. And the others would V off him, so I could go down the highway with this V of geese off my helmet. And it stopped a lot of traffic, I'll tell you. Then when I tried to switch them over to the aircraft, it didn't work. What I failed to realize is that you have to fit into their pattern, and at fledging age, they'd already learned to fly, and the aircraft was such a different sound and such a different look that they shied away from it. Didn't matter what I did, they wouldn't come near it. They were imprinted on me and the motorcycle. And so the next year, 1988, I had it all figured out. I'd raise another flock and do it right. So I raised them right, and what I did that year that really made a big difference was play the sound of the engine to the eggs before they hatched even. So when they hatched, they were used to that exact sound, and they did fall into the air, and it was the first time any human had flown with birds, as far as I know, other than on a powered flight. So it was quite wonderful, and some people would take their dog for a walk in the morning. I'd get up and go fly my geese. And we formed Operation Migration as a nonprofit to try this research. It was quite an exciting time because, again, we were feeling our way. No one had ever tried to lead geese on a migration before, or any kind of bird on a migration. So we had lots of people cheering us on and lots of people saying you're crazy. I got a call in 1989 from George Archibald, and I didn't know who he was at all, from the International Crane Foundation in Wisconsin. He said, you may have discovered a way of establishing migration routes for endangered species, and he told me about the flight of the whooping crane. Wow, what a challenging idea.
A whooping crane is a really charismatic bird. It's the tallest bird in North America. It's 5.5 feet tall. It has almost an 8-foot wingspan. They're a beautiful, gorgeous bird.
We try all kinds of various tricks, and one of them is to wear this costume, which doesn't make us look like a crane, but it makes us not look like any other human being. We try and adapt to the way they're normally raised, and that's very difficult being human.
There's only 2 species in North America, of course, the Sandhill and the Whooping Crane, and there's, as you know, lots of Sandhill cranes. So let's do a research project with Sandhill cranes because they're close enough related, and if it works with them, then perhaps we can move on to the Whooping Cranes. And the Sandhill crane was such a different bird to fly with than the geese. Of course, the geese you can raise them en masse, sort of in groups of 6 or 7, but cranes you had to work with individually. If you could train a flock of whooping cranes and lead them on migration, we could establish a new flock of whooping cranes. It's always a wonder when you're up there with them. I miss it now because I'm not flying the migration, but the 4 pilots that fly with the birds do it because they love it. And you see the world in such a different way. And the birds have got it figured out, you know. They travel south with a change of color, and they travel south with the harvest so that they have the best food all the way along. We hope we have over 60 whooping cranes in eastern North. It's the most successful reintroduction of species, endangered species in North America.
For more information about the ongoing reestablishment of the whooping crane, visit operationmigration.org. Thanks for joining us for this edition of the Tennessee Wildlife Network. If you found this program on iTunes, be sure and visit our website at www.tnwildlife.org.